I used to be a merchant banker in my 30s. I was specializing in corporate finance. I went out to see one of my major clients, and he had interests in many different industries. And one of the companies they owned turned out to be a slaughterhouse. Now, at the time, I have to say, my favorite food was filet mignon and lobster, a fact for which I'm so profoundly ashamed today. But what I saw that day in that slaughterhouse absolutely terrified me. It changed me profoundly. I became a vegetarian on the spot, but I didn't know a thing about dairy. I was quite ignorant. And then I was on a business trip to review a large bank's operations in India. I always thought that dairy was this beautiful sight of rolling hills, green fields, streams, cows in the meadow, calves playing. But it turned out to be not the case. The dairy industry is a vile, disgusting gulag of despair. So I was walking down the streets of India and I noticed that a dairyman was dragging his cow on a rope to the slaughterhouse. The cow had been hit by a lorry and had broken her spine. She could barely walk. And to get her to move, he was throwing chili powder into her eyes and shoving sharp objects up her anus. Beside her walked her skinny, starving little calf that had not been fed for a long time. Well, when he got to the gates of the slaughterhouse, and before he handed this cow over to the butcher, the bastard milked her. So even at the last moment of her life, she was still being abused by a human. Now, if that doesn't change the heart of a man, nothing will. Well, I came back to Australia and I studied the industry. And that's when I discovered what a brutal, nasty, squalid place the dairy was. And I became something of an expert on it. And I stopped consuming dairy. And I never became vegan. That's why I can never answer the question honestly. When did you become vegan? Just that one day I looked at myself and I noticed I didn't eat meat or dairy. I didn't hunt, I never did. My belt, my watch band, my shoes had no animal products. I just realized I never became vegan. I just was. So I didn't have a time when I said, like St. Paul on the road to Damascus, that was my Damascene moment. That wasn't Archimedes sitting in the bathtub and saying, Eureka. It never happened like that. No apple fell on my head and discovered gravity. No, I just woke up and there it was.